Excellent, good to go. I like hearing that enthusiasm. I hope you enjoyed our little music interlude. I was feeling some Dead Mouse as we were just chilling, waiting for our session to start. I didn't want to go too crazy, and I decided to go with the chill stuff. And thinking my Valentine's was productive. Unfortunately, my car broke down on the way home from work last week, so it was all about finding a new ride. Especially, I am about an hour and 20 minutes away from campus, so can't go without any wheels. That was a little difficult, but did Valentine's right. Went to go see Deadpool, and the movie's awesome. If you guys haven't seen that, you need to go see it. Don't recommend bringing the children, but it was super funny. Yes, Michael, it was super, super funny. Ryan Reynolds did an amazing job as Deadpool. I actually, I saw an interview with him, and it took them 11 years to make that movie. He, the name escapes me right now, but he wrote the script with someone else, and it took over 11 years for the script to be picked up. So, which I thought was kind of cool. Like, I want to find the interview and get, it's on TV. It's hard for me to get the video from off the TV these days, but I do want to find the interview because I thought it was so awesome to be able to share with you guys and everyone that is just starting out. It's hard work, and you have to keep at it. You have to be in the game. I mean, even someone that is already in the game and has notoriety and has a brand still took them such a long time. So if it is your dream and it is your vision and you want it to one day breathe life, then it takes some time to do so. And it's so easy for us to throw up our hands and give up, but you have to put your neck on the line sometimes. And if it's something that you truly believe in, you keep at it and you keep going and you wait and you wait and you push until someone sees what you see. And I thought that's kind of a great tie-in to what you all are trying to accomplish this week. And from what I'm seeing so far, so good. I went through the plans and looked over what your outlines are, and for the most part, you guys are awesome. And you really have been listening to the go-to sessions. You've been reading Nancy's words. You've been encouraging each other on the discussion board and being open-minded, absorbing all that feedback from myself and your classmates. Your classmates have been pretty awesome about providing that constructive feedback. So I really hope you guys enjoy how each section has been set up. I hope you're enjoying the connection with each other, and you're not mad at me for pushing you on the discussion boards, because I love what I'm seeing. It's one of my favorite things to just watch all the relationships start to form, and the connectivity with each other, and really the encouragement. So thank you for inviting me to be a part of your journey. I'm honored, and I hope you guys are just as excited as I am, to see these projects come to life. And Alicia, I did not finish that movie, which I want to kick myself. I really don't know what happened that I didn't finish that movie. I think it was just I was finishing my degree, and but that film is genius. It's genius. Talk about having patience and time. It was a passion project. Remarkable. Speaking of passion projects, absolutely, I'm totally taking afternoon because it was beautiful. It really was beautiful. All the shots and just watching the cast morph into their older selves and watching the change. It was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. But speaking of passion projects, this week is all about Hall of Fame, and I know I've been talking about this, but I'm really serious about getting involved this week. There are panels. If you have gone on Connect, you'll notice that there's things set up for people that are like yourselves and your online students. There is going to be live streaming of some panels. I know that the personal branding tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., that is going to be streamed live. So if you're in the position of getting on the computer really early or having some time during the day, do check out some panels that will be live streamed. Totally do it. It's such an amazing experience to be subjected to graduates that were in your position and now are doing fantastic. They really, if you want to talk about our first session, tips and tricks, that I have nothing on these industry professionals. They know the tricks of the trade. They know exactly what to look for and validate many of the things that I say, but I'm just an instructor at Full Sail. These are professionals, and if you could hear it from their mouth, then it's really worth it, and it's motivating. So please, if you have not gone on Connect to sign up for some of these sessions, totally sign up and be a part of it. Our girl Angela, she's here tonight, and I know that she went out and is participating in the contest. So I hope that we're all sending positive vibes so she can get some Full Sail swag. That would be awesome. I am going to be stage manager this year, which is amazing. I'm so excited. I can't wait to meet some of the inductees. It's awesome. One of the inductees that I'm going to meet the very first time is a visual artist for the Uncharted franchise and The Last of Us, the original and the remastered version. So I'm psyched. DJ Swivel is part of it. I urge you, if you don't do anything else, just go and read their bios. It's amazing. All the experience that they have, all the accolades they have, and these are people. They're not they didn't graduate that far off. You know, they're well into the 2000s, and you know, just a decade. And think about how life can change in a decade. Um, so definitely do that and get yourself excited about your environment and what you belong to and belong. Okay, so I guess I'll ask you guys, how was your Valentine? Does anyone have something cool that they did over the weekend? Oh, we're shy. A lot of people are silent this afternoon. That's cool. Oh my goodness. Cornell, you went to Bourbon Street in New Orleans. I have to say that I'm jealous. A few years back, I don't know if I told you guys this, but I was co-founder of a writers group called WOW, Writers on Wheels. And what we would do is we would hold these annual trips and take people or create writers on sabbaticals, on trips, and hold workshops, whether it was short story or poetry, and then a book would be generated at the end. New Orleans was actually one of the first trips that we took, and what an incredible experience. I'm talking about culture and art and music and um, unbelievable. So Cornell, I'm a little jealous, and I'm so glad that you had that experience, because I think that everyone should. As a native New Yorker, I was missing that in my life. I was missing that culture, that vibe, that the artistry, the atmosphere. So I really was in my element. I was loving every minute of it. And I'm hearing a lot with the kids and the hubby and the wifey, and that's cool. That's very cool. Liv, I'm so sorry that you had a headache. Migraines are the worst, especially when they're like those cranium headaches that it hurts your whole head. Uh, I'm very sorry to hear that. I don't know if anyone had trouble last night, but there was a tornado watch like all the way up the East Coast. It was kind of wicked over here. I don't know if anyone experienced that bad weather last night, but it was a little scary. It was definitely a little scary. And Mike, there's no shame in that, and good for you going to see Deadpool. And how could you go wrong with Harry Potter? Really? Oh, sleet and snow. I definitely do not miss. That's the only thing about New York that I don't miss. Oh, Tristan, you probably came in a little bit later, but I went to go see Deadpool. It was amazing. That's how you do Valentine's Day, definitely. Okay, so congratulations, first and foremost, because you have made it to week 3. that means that you are 50% done with CRP. And that is incredible, especially when you look back at when you first got into my class and you were brand new to this university called Full Sail and online schooling and balancing relationships and responsibilities with school. And hopefully now you're coming into your own, and you're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable, and you're starting to feel like, yeah, I could do this. I got this. I have to tweak my time management skills, but I really think I could do this. I feel like I belong. And from what I'm hearing, I have to applaud you all, because a lot of my colleagues, we're experiencing a lot of people that are giving up. As I don't know what it is about this month, but a lot of people are giving up, and I just want to congratulate you, those of you that are not giving up, and you're putting your all in. You're asking questions. You're getting in touch with me. You're pushing yourself, and you're doing it. So congratulations for that. I'm happy to say that there's only a small percentage of everyone that is in my sections that for one reason or another, but we're pretty solid. We're at like 90%. So thank you guys for making me proud and hanging in there and doing what you have to do. So I brought you here this evening pretty much to give you the breakdown of week 3. You all have been on the platform. I've given you feedback on your plans. So I was done with that early this afternoon. So if you haven't gone back and read my feedback, it's there. Like I said in the beginning of this session, for the most part, awesome. You guys have a direction, you have a goal in mind, you're starting to think about your story and how your story is going to play out, and many of you are really excited, which makes me excited. And I love the messages. Like, I'm so excited for this week, and I can't wait to put this together. And thank you so much for the feedback. And my classmates are getting me so psyched and excited, and I'm really proud of what I did. And that's the way it should be. That is the way it should be. It should be, you should be excited. You should be celebrating each other and bigging each other up, giving each other advice, collaborating, and connecting. So keep that up. Some of the things that I'm seeing overall, and this is not geared to any one person, it's just in general, that some of the plans, yes, you have the skeleton of what the plan is going to be, which to me is great, because it shows me that you are thinking of possibilities, and you're mind mapping what you're going to do. But remember, detail is golden. The more detail that you have, especially when you are building your rough draft this week, the better it is going to be for your classmates and for myself. The more information, the more detail that we have as your audience or as your observers, the more information or more guidance that we could give you back Does that make sense? Cool. And no worries, don't feel guilty. Don't feel like you've let me down, because you haven't let me down. This is a learning experience. And to be honest, it's what I'm finding, especially being the first month instructor. I'm finding it across the board. There's something missing when it comes to secondary. I'm talking about high school to post-secondary education. And now coming from both, at first it shocked me, because I'm like, why, how could this be? I was a teacher in high school. I taught 11th and 12th grade, and my students knew how to plan and put detail and elaborate and work with research and, you know, and back up their credibility. So when I first started, I was a little taken aback. I really didn't realize that there was such a disconnect, and there really is. And it isn't the fault of anyone. It's just I think there's so much emphasis on extraneous things, if I dare say, and it's part of the reason why I had to leave the public school system. It was all about the testing and, you know, getting the grade for the school. And so don't beat yourself up. And I think that's why this class is so necessary, because many of you are experiencing these things for the first time, or you weren't aware of them, or you weren't aware of where to begin. So don't beat yourself up. And that's really what week 2 was all about. It was getting all your ideas on paper and then allowing me to give you that feedback and guide you in a direction. It's not meant to break you down. It's not meant to make you feel like that you can't do it. It's there to guide you. So if you didn't get the grade that you thought you might get, let it go. It's something. This is part of the growing experience. It's something that we have to go through. It's something to just make us improve and get better. Taking all that information and growing as a person. And 2, 3, even 8 months down the line, when you start to think back and you start to reflect back, you will see the growth, and you'll be proud of yourself, because you allowed that. You were open-minded, and you allowed that education process to happen. That is a good segue to what this conversation is all about. So yes, I will be going over the breakdown of week 3, but I like to kind of keep that towards the end. I want to build you up to what you are going to be experiencing through this process, through building your presentation, giving and receiving constructive feedback, and what things that you need to look for. And practice, yes, absolutely. If I could say amen, I would say amen. Changes make champions. It really does. And what it boils down to, and I've said this on your discussion boards, I've said this in a go-to session, that you are the one that makes that happen. You are in control of the pursuit of your own happiness. So know that change is inevitable. It's something that if change didn't happen, we would stay where we are, period, and not move forward. And we would stay stagnant. We would stay in the position that we are in forever. And that really isn't fun. You wanna grow, you wanna evolve. And the world is ever changing. Everything changes around us. So if you stay still, it puts you in an awkward position of not being able to move forward. So change is absolutely inevitable. So this week, you are taking your plans and you are you're starting to build. Okay. The way that I sell this to my students, past, present, and future, I will always sell it this way, is that take this as if you are building your final presentation. I know that scares a lot of people. They're like, oh my God, the final presentation, didn't you just get over telling us or congratulating us that we accomplished 50% of our class and now you're bringing us to the end? What is the deal, Miss P? The reason why I say this is that the effort that you're putting in, you want to build something that you're working towards. So if you treat the rough draft as if it was your final presentation, you are going to be less likely to leave things out. And you're going to put things in there that may or may not make it to the end, but that is okay. That's supposed to happen. You're supposed to put everything into the rough draft and then allow your instructor and allow your peers to give you feedback and give you guidance and give you direction. And then you start going back to the 3 R's that we talked last week. Reduce, record, repeat. And it's an ongoing process. So the rough draft should not scare anyone. The rough draft is just that. It is the rough draft. However, you want to put the effort into putting as much as possible to give you enough information to be able to go back and tweak and refine. If you do this rough draft, amazing. And that means you're incorporating the images that you would like to incorporate. You're incorporating the video if you wanted some video in there. You are building your slides the way that you want to build your slides. And then you get your feedback. And then week 4 is going to be a breeze. All you have to do in week 4 is take the feedback, make the tweaks, and hand it in. Tell me that doesn't sound awesome. Awesome. Okay. So feedback is important. Okay, first you need to know how to give feedback. And I'm sure I'm going to go down this line and you're going to nod your head because many of you have already done this. And I told you from the beginning there is a method to my madness. And the reason why I emphasize the discussion boards and I emphasize for you guys to come back and interact with your classmates and point out things that inspired you or offer insightful commentary or carry on the conversation. It was all for this. It was all for you to be able to recognize building a safe environment, being positive about each other, picking out specific things for the other person to realize, hey, this person paid attention to what I said or what I wrote. They really understood what I had to say, or they didn't really understand, and I can see where I was unclear, so I need to make it clear now. So all this was relevant. All this was relevant. And I can understand. I can understand your pain. I can understand your anxiety. I know I know that it sounds crazy, it sounds impossible, but I'm telling you, this class is the ninth class. I want to say the ninth class of CRP, and they've all done it, and they've all been fantastic in it. You guys actually have the advantage of being online. My campus students are, it's intense. It is extremely intense. The turnover is ridiculous because they have to give live presentations, and the campus classes are 95 students and above. So if you divide that by the lecture hours that we have, it takes up the entire last week. So my campus students have to have their final presentation by this Sunday, and they have to have feedback to one another even before that. So if they can do it with having another class on top of that, because they take 2 at a time, you guys can do it. Trust me. Trust me. Many of them are in the same boat. They have a family. We're talking kids, a job, responsibilities, and campus. So take that as motivation. Don't take it as I'm putting anyone down. Take it as it's possible. It's so possible, and you can do it. And if you take the time this week to really put things together and work with each other, I think one of you said, it straight out of my mouth. We're all in this together. I said that since week 1. You're all in this together. You're all in the same position. You all want to succeed. You all want to let your heart lead your passion. So let it happen. And don't be a hero. Ask for help. Even the hero needs a guide. Look at any of the gurus. Look at the hero's journey from any guru out there, like Volgar is in our book. Every hero needs a guide. So don't be too prideful to ask for help. You need to ask for help. And Alicia, yes, teamwork makes the dream work. Absolutely. And if you've got to keep that mindset, because you're going into an industry that almost demands it. We're at the stage of a game where everything is bleeding into each other, and there's cross-pollination of every single piece of art out there. And lines are being crossed. There's mashups all over the place. You need each other. That's it. Like, you need each other. And what better place to start than here and the now, and all the talent that surrounds you at this university, everything that you have at your fingertips to communicate with each other, market each other, be noticed and connect. You have so many more tools than those had 10 years ago. So there's even 5 years ago, technology has blown up. So utilize it. Oh, yes, group hug. I like that. I definitely like that. I did get a private question, and yes, bottom line with the funnel presentation, it's called the personal brand presentation. And we went through personal branding last week. Really, you're marketing yourself. And personal branding is, if you think about it, you're essentially a product. Whether you are going for a job, or you're asking for money from investors, or you're asking people to join you, you are selling your product. You're selling who you are, you're selling your art, you're selling your image, you're selling your education, you're selling your idea. No matter what it is, you are selling your product. Even if it is, you are flesh and blood, you are a human being, but when it comes to the industry and it comes to your art, that is a product. And remember that you want to make your audience see what you see. So how you perceive yourself is how you want to project yourself to others, so they will perceive you the way you perceive you. Make sense? And live? Absolutely. Absolutely. If that's what you want to do, yes. Yes, and yes again. I will tell you, one of my first classes, it was the second, I think it was the second CRP class. She had an idea about the average Joe having an entourage. Pretty much, from soup to nuts, hair, makeup, nails, clothes, everything. And she did just that. She circled the canvas. She looked for people that would take pictures and that she can make up. She can dress. She can accessorize. She had a blast with it. And you can absolutely do makeup. I know that that is one of your passions. There is a demand in the industry, anywhere from the stars to talk show hosts to corporate events. There's so much out there, so absolutely. Okay, so getting back to feedback, this is so important because it not only helps the person receiving the feedback, it helps you. By building a safe environment, by being positive, by picking out specific things, providing tough love for the opposite person, you start to realize this about your own work. And you start to realize what the things that you observed in someone else, you start to be aware and observe them for yourself. So professionally and personally, feedback is essential for both parties. It's essential for you to succeed. Does that make sense so far on how to give feedback? Awesome. And again, the chat box is going so fast, but I just saw something about kids, and I have to check that out. Oh, yes, Liv. I'm actually looking so forward into your build. I think it's really going to resonate with, see what I did there with that Nancy Duarte buzzword. But yes, it's gonna resonate with so many of your classmates. I can't wait to share that. It's such a great cause. And Yusef says, I want to do a presentation of branding for local artists. My son, he has mixtapes, videos, art, special media. Okay, so you actually, Yusef, you want to be the person that helps an artist build their brand? Is that right? Awesome. Okay, so that should be your focus. And what happens with this is, of course, your personal brand comes into factor because you are selling what you can do to make other dreams come happen. Does that make sense? Cool. So, I mean, that's an amazing idea. Anything, I think it's awesome that you got, that many of you want to be mentors, and that's really what it's all about, is giving back. There's so many artists that, there's some artists that don't, but there's so many artists that give back. And if that's something that you want to do right off the bat, awesome, especially for children. Um, those that maybe lack that direction or lack somebody in their life to give that direction, I think is amazing. There's so many kids in this world that need someone to care about them. It's ridiculous. So anyone that wants to give their time and their talent to that is all right in my book. And I'm already seeing collaboration going on, which is amazing because that should happen. I know you guys are not all in the same sections, so I do hope that you are exchanging information and getting in touch with each other. That's awesome. Okay, how to receive feedback is also important because, like it or not, aware of it or not, we're humans. And as humans, as a human condition, we're very defensive people. Are we not? And we don't even mean it sometimes. We're not even aware that we are, but we tend to be very defensive, especially if we view it as criticism. It's very easy to be defensive. So you have to develop the mindset in order to receive feedback as well. And it goes back to week 1. It's knowing that we are all in this position. We're all in this journey together. And ultimately, we support each other and we want to see each of us succeed. In order to succeed, we need to understand that we're not perfect. If we were perfect, we would be gods, and none of us are gods. We're just humans, and humans make mistakes, and the only way we learn is from our mistakes. So have that growth mindset when approaching reading your feedback from others. Know that it comes from the heart. It comes from a place that the other person wants to see you grow. We don't want to knock you down. Same goes for my feedback. I'm not in the business of crushing anyone's dreams. I'm not in the business of putting anyone down. I'm there as a guide and to help you maybe see things that you didn't see. I'm guilty as this myself. You find out a lot about who you are when you go through a process like this. We're so caught up in the moment and we want to get our ideas down on paper. And how many times has this happened to you? In your head, the idea is amazing in your head. You have all the visuals, it plays out awesome, and then you start to build and get it on paper. And it's not until you walk away and come back that you realize how much you left out. And that's where the feedback comes. We're too close. We're too close to our own goals. We're too close to our passion, especially when it comes to a presentation like this. Where I'm asking you guys to be vulnerable. I'm asking you to tell your story. I'm asking you to pour your heart into your presentation. So we're very close to what it is you're going to present. And sometimes our judgment is clouded. And you need that second, third, fourth pair of eyes to help see what you don't see. Does that make sense? And just knowing that and being aware of that makes you less defensive. It makes you appreciate what that other person is doing. This other person is taking their time to help you celebrate your craft and celebrate your creativity. And they're not letting you fall. They're like that best friend that's going to tell you that you have a booger in your nose and not let you leave the house with that booger in your nose. They're gonna let you know. And if you go into this process with that mindset, then all you can do from there is grow. There's no stopping what you can accomplish. You know, the second is taking credit for your mistakes. I know if I ask this question, I know that the raise your hand is gonna light up. How many of you guys know that person that it's everyone else's fault but their own? How many? Yep. Here come the hands. Absolutely. And I have those in my life, and it's unfortunate because I feel bad. I really do. They'll never get past the state that they're in if they don't take credit for their mistakes, so they don't take responsibility. If you pass the buck and put the blame on everybody else, that doesn't give you any time to process or reflect on your own actions and your own choices. So it's really important to take credit for mistakes. That is where the growth happens. That's where the education starts. And you wanna focus on self-improvement. Find inspiration in the success of others. Jealousy is an evil thing, and it really can stop you from doing what you want to do. You know, having that, like, oh, woe is me, and I can't get anything done, and, that person has it all. And yes, that evil green eye can kill your soul. So instead of being jealous, you want to be like, well, that's amazing, and it should motivate you. Like, that person could do it, I can do it, and I want to get there, and I will get there. And that's it. Shouldn't be part of your vocabulary at all. Awesome. Okay. The next three things, many of you have seen this already. How many people know of ethos, pathos, and logos? And Tristan, I love it. Yes. Ask what they did to get there. Do you know how many successful people will love for you to ask them that question? They want to share that. And that's what I tell about Hall of Fame. Do you know how many of them want people to come up to them and ask them about their story? They want to share their knowledge. They want people to come up. They want people that are talented to work with. So absolutely ask. I think I brought up last week when I told you guys to research your program. Email a program director, ask questions, put yourself on the map. That person is gonna be like, wow, this person wants to know how it gets done, and I'm more than happy to let them know. So absolutely ask them how they got there. Forgive me, I keep on sipping my water. My throat is so dry. Forgive me. Okay, so ethos, pathos, and legos is oh my god, you just cracked me up, Michael. Absolutely. Ethos is appeal to trust and credibility. And I'll ask you guys, when you're thinking about the beginning of your presentation and you're thinking about the hook, can you guys name some things that you can do in order to build trust right off the bat? What could you do in the beginning to build trust or to build a relationship with your audience? Angela, definitely be vulnerable. Absolutely. We talked about how emotions connect us as human beings. Tell a story. Tristan, if I can shake your hand and hug you, yes. Greet them. It's very simple. It's a simple thing, but greet them. Say hello, welcome, invite them on your journey. Alicia, smile, absolutely. But a genuine smile, because there's some people that are so good and they will see right through that fake smile. So absolutely. But yeah, you want to invite them in. You want to make them feel comfortable and welcome. And yeah, no greasy salesman smirk like a used car salesman. From the soul. I like that. Yes, from the soul. Be genuine. Be true. How can you build your credibility or sustain your credibility throughout your presentation? Know your facts, do your research in advance. Yes, Alicia, that would be very much advised, definitely in advance, because you don't want to stop your presentation, go to your smartphone and say, oh wait, let me Google that. Hold on for a second. So absolutely in advance. Share your accomplishments. Absolutely, Yusuf, and that's where your skills are going to come in. Talking with confidence that you know these programs and you have worked with them and they're in your portfolio, and absolutely that will build on credibility. Okay, so pathos, and of course that's a cute little puppy. Doesn't everyone want to go and adopt it? I do. But pathos is the appeal to emotion. And as we beat this to death, emotions are universal. It's something we've all cried, we've all laughed, we've all felt pain, we've all triumphed, we've all screamed, we've all got angry. So emotions are something that connect us as human beings. And then we have my man Spock, and God rest his soul, live long and prosper. But the appeal to logic. Now, all three of these are not necessary for every single presentation. There is a time, there's a place, and there's a situation. There are those that love statistics, and that's where the logic comes in. They love the numbers and they love the statistics, but there are other times where those numbers go straight over people's heads. So, out of the three categories that I've given you guys to think about for your final presentation, where does logos fit in the best? Who wants the numbers? What type of audience wants the numbers? buy me. Absolutely. They want to know, what is my return on the investment? And what am I risking? How am I going to profit? Is it worth the risk? Is it going to make me money? Is it going to make my bank account grow big? Is it going to empty my wallet? Will I have to second mortgage my house? Investors. Investors want the logos. They want the knowledge. The stacks on deck, or the stakes. Absolutely. So in a buy me situation, when you have investors, that's where statistics come into play. If you guys all remember that second video that I sent out the second week with Sarah McLaughlin, we talked about how confusing that piece was, because the information went by, first of all, it went by fast. Second of all, it was throwing out a bunch of numbers at once. And it was really hard to decipher where those numbers came from and how they connected. Some were staggering, and it gave kind of a shock value, but it was way too much. So statistics can be good, but if they're overused, it will turn your audience off. Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay. This guy I wanted to talk about for a minute. Now, I shared this link before when I sent out the registration link for tonight's session. I also sent the link to this TED Talk. There were a handful of you that actually used him for your TED Talk in week 1, which was awesome, because he is absolutely one of my favorites. And the reason why I use him in week 3 is just that, Tristan, you hit the nail on the head. It's the why, the how, and the what. It was very interesting because I didn't know about him when CRP first started. And, of course we were getting acclimated with the curriculum and the way that we were going to deliver information. And when I watched his TED, I was like, oh my God, I'm doing the right thing. Thank God. Thank God I'm doing the right thing. So he really validates a lot of my own philosophy and what I presented to my students in the first few months. And I thought it was amazing that I can now use this talk, which is awesome. And cool, Tristan, because that's what it was supposed to do. He really breaks it down, and it's easy to understand. It makes so much sense. He talks about the golden circle, and he uses repetitive sounds to kind of drive the message home. People do not buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And it's truth. So in the scheme of things, in the big golden circle, it is the why that makes the biggest splash. And it is the why that connects you with people. That is your emotion. That is your passion. That is what people want to see. Well, I'm a musician. Why do you do this? Why do you want to do this? Why do you continue to do this? Why should we care? Do you see what I'm saying? So the why is a huge factor. And the way that I like to break it down is in the very beginning, the first discussion we did, I put a saying after my post, and I said, get them to think, get them to feel, get them to remember. So you want to, or was it get them to feel? I'm sorry, get them to feel, get them to think, get them to remember. So the get them to feel is Simon's why. Right off the bat, you want to connect with your audience. You want them to be welcomed. You want them to invite them on your journey. And if you get them to feel, you have already tugged at their hearts. You've already made a connection with them. Next thing, get them to think. So if you're in the hire me situation and you're going to the middle of your presentation, you want them to start pondering how you are the best candidate for their position. So the why, get them to feel, the how, get them to think by sharing your knowledge, sharing your experience, sharing what you could bring to the table, how you will be able to be this good fit, how you are a good investment, how you are a good leader. Are you guys with me so far? Cool. And then the end, get them to remember. Act 3, the what. This is your call to action. This is what I can do for you. What are you going to do for me? Right? So this is what I will do. What are you going to do? And you are putting the ball in their court. Are you going to hire me? Are you going to join me? Are you going to buy me? Quid pro quo. Does that make more sense? Awesome. So if you now you go back and you look at your plans holistically and you look at, okay, where is my why, where is my how, and where is my what? And how am I going to make this flow into my story and keep my audience captivated? So when I bring that call to action at the end, I'm going to make my audience move. And that is your goal. That is your final outcome. That is your goal. And the last thing that I want to talk about tonight before I show you an app through Google Chrome that will help you with recording, I want to talk about articulation. Our discussion board last week had this guy, Julian Treasure, and he talks about the art of sound and articulation, and he uses the Hale method, and he talks about prosody and tone and articulation. the way that you form your words, and the volume of your voice. And this has to be thought of when you are building your presentation. This has to be thought of when you're thinking about the flow of your story. Well, where is my crescendos? Where are my decrescendos? When am I going to raise my voice to excitement, and when am I going to be subtle and down to earth? So knowing these fluctuations, thinking back to week 1 when Nancy was talking about that spark line, and thinking about the peaks of your presentation, and the control that you have, of your mannerisms, of your body language, of your voice, how you are going to direct your audience through your journey. And Courtney, hallelujah, I'm so glad that you just found your inspiration. Cool. So if you haven't watched this presentation, I really encourage you to watch his presentation and go back and watch Simon's presentation. These two gentlemen are amazing when it comes to building a presentation and knowing your presence and knowing your power, the power of your presence, and how you could really enthrall your audience and make them move. Okay, so what I want to share with you next is a colleague of mine did a session basically on all the things that are available to you through Connect, and then he goes into an app on Google Chrome called Screencastify. The cool thing about Screencastify is that you can build your presentation in any program that you want. It doesn't have to have audio, it doesn't have to have something that you could record audio into it. That's what this app does for you. So for instance, I've gotten a couple of questions about building a mock website, which is awesome. And Alicia, yes, it's free, which is awesome. And Liv, yes, that's how you spell it, Screencastify. And I'm gonna show you the video in a minute. It's about 5 minutes. And it will be on the recording, so you guys will have it to watch back. And it's actually going to give my voice a rest for a minute. But it's really cool. It's a Chrome, again, it's a Google Chrome extension, and you could record over anything that any program that you build your presentation into, and it will export it as a movie file, which is awesome because then you could upload it to YouTube, and then you could give me the URL, and everything is gravy because it's an online program and there's less chances of a problem. Sound awesome? Cool. Alicia, this clip is gonna go through everything, so don't you worry. This clip will answer all your questions, and I'm gonna be quiet for like 5 minutes, and I'm gonna let this play. Are you guys cool with that? Awesome.
Yes, it's okay to have shots you haven't finished color correcting. Music on the presentation. I'm glad you asked that because you actually anticipated something, and I'm going to take you there right now. As well as Linda, you guys have access to quite a few databases, and I'm going to show you a couple databases here that are going to help you out with this. One of them is going to help you out in the future, one of them is going to help you now, and I'm going to give you the music one now. So thank you for that question. So under student resources, actually, it's a different place. We're going to go to the library. So ignore that. We're going to the library. The library has research databases that you have access to. So right here is the list of them, and they're pretty much all alphabetical. We'll talk about a few of them later, but one of them is Westar Music. Have you guys heard of that one before? Westar? Nope. Awesome. All right, I'm going to copy the password. Make sure that when you go there that you use this username and password. Otherwise, because if you try to create your own, it just creates problems, and then nobody from Full Sail can access this because it's all one username and password. So you just click on the link to Westar Music, and it's a really cool place. I'm going to log in to show you. All right, cool. So we'll log in while it's loading. Email address. So that was library at fullsail.com. And the password, I just copied that. It's like fullsail1234. And then I'm going to log in. No, I don't want it to remember it. You can on your end if you want it to remember it. All right, so this is really cool. So Westar Music, you are allowed to use this music for every single project that you complete while you are here and working at Full Sail. So there are all kinds of different music that you want. Okay, let's say I'm going to go for drama, film scores. This is going to be perfect. Make sure that you log in this way. Oh, Conquering Army. All right, I can see that this song is 1 minute and 58. Let me listen to it. Okay, that's awesome. I like that. So then I'm going to click on the download. Then I can download it as an MP3 or a WAV, and it's there, and you don't have to pay for it. If you logged in on your own account or tried to create your own account, this whole album would probably cost you $500 because it comes with certain rights and ability to use and just licensing agreements and all that kind of stuff. So you can download it all. You can download the cover art. You can do whatever you want to, and this music is yours. You are allowed to use it again while you are a Full Sail student. And the way that you get there, yeah, sweet, isn't it? The way that you get there is just you go to library, then you go to research databases, you go down to Westar Music, and then you log in with library@fullsail.com, password fullsail1234. And that's music that you can use. So if you don't want to create your own music, you can't create your own music, there's music for you. Just make sure that you duck the music in the background so that we can hear your voice, and the music should just be background music. So don't get lost there. I would rather see that you put together your rough draft first and then go out and find music and not the other way around, because you can get lost in Westar. All right? The next one. Some of you have definite ideas of where it is that you want to work. You already know what company you want to work for, and it's set. So I'm going to show you one specific example. LexisNexis is the database for you. So when you click on that one, it might ask you to log in again. And sometimes it takes a while. There we go. LexisNexis Academic. This is a really cool database because it allows you to get company info from over 80 million companies. Don't search in the red box, all right? For companies that you want to work for or you might be interested in, don't search there. So I'm going to go down here to get company info. I'm going to type in Blizzard because I saw that somebody this month wants to work for Blizzard. And I'm going to hit go. It's redirecting me to the company dossier. I have several different choices to pick from, so it's Activision. Blizzard now is what I'm looking for. And then what's really neat about this is it provides information about this particular company that I cannot find simply by going to Google. So it tells me what type of company it is. It gives me their actual physical address, like their internet address. It gives me stocks and quotes. It tells me about their yearly financials. It gives me information on how to find all of their top executives on LinkedIn. I can download that table if I want to. It tells me who the board of directors are. If I look over here, I can find, I'm on the overview right now, looking at the overview of Activision Blizzard. I can look at current news. Let's do that. See what's in the news about them. And here are the current articles that have been put out about Blizzard Activision. I can look at their financial report. I can look to see legal cases that they've had, recent cases in the US or in Canada. You can pull those up there. There's some legal action that was brought against them right here. I can also look at what intellectual properties that they hold, and I can customize the reports that I receive as well. So this is a really great place to find out company information, especially when it comes time, like that example that I talked to you about before with the Google Please Hire Me, where he did his research into who Google was and, what kind of climate it was. This is a great place to start because it gives you all this information. I don't know that it has all the different jobs that are there, but it just lists the people that are in charge. I could look at the company hierarchy right here, and it tells me, the order, how everything works. And then I can look at the individual companies as well, and then look from them. So it's a great place to start. WWE, I'm not sure. Let's take a look at that one. So I'm going to go back, new search. Find a company. Let's see if it's under WWE. And it might not be. Sometimes you have to look. I don't know. I don't think the military is on there. I don't think they're going to give out that information. So you would know more than I would. WWE Holdings, I don't think so. That's in Malaysia, Belgium, and Germany. It might actually be under a different name. So that might be something that you could look for. The librarians are really cool with this. So if you have any issues with looking something up or wanting to find out information, contact the librarians and they'll be happy to walk you through that and answer any questions you have about it. But I definitely wanted to make sure that you were aware of LexisNexis and how you can use that to research companies that you might quite possibly want to work for. All right. Any questions about Westar or LexisNexis? Yeah, they do. WWE actually, they have offices in the building where I have offices, and while they were filming their reality show, Hulk Hogan was there, The Rock's been there. They all parade through our offices, which is funny because I'm not allowed to use the kitchen when they're there. So, yeah, tough enough. They were filming in the building where my office is. And actually, what you want to do, you're coming to campus too, Joseph, aren't you? I think I saw you say that before. All right. One of the things that you want to do, and this might sway some of you to want to move to Florida, quite possibly. When they are on campus, you actually have to be recommended by a faculty member to be able to do anything with them as far as shooting or working with them or anything goes. So you definitely want to build good relationships with your instructors so you make sure that you can get that recommendation. So they're there all the time. Like I said, their offices are in my building, and when they were filming Tough Enough, they were parading in and out, and the actual film crew was there on campus before I was in the mornings, and I get there earlier than most people. All right, cool. So we got that. Rough draft, we're good. All right, next thing I want to show you is Google Drive and Screencastify. This is a really cool tool. This is how you are going to be able to film yourself without having to worry about a camera. All right, Google Drive. Any of you used Google Drive before? Oh, and you're welcome for that info. All right, cool, awesome. I'm glad to see that a lot of you have used Google Drive. If you've just used Google, then you're good. You've got an account. You have access to Google Drive. You can see right here, here's all the files that I have stored on my Google Drive. If you have that ability, I'm only using 1 gigabyte. It looks like a lot there, but I'm only using 1 gigabyte of 17 gigabytes that I'm allowed. So what it is with this, I can click on the new button and I have options. I can create a document if I want to. I can create a spreadsheet. I can actually create forms and send out surveys and quizzes for this too if I want to. You have all kinds of options through this. I can also build sites, but Google Slides is where I want to go. So for those of you that don't want to use PowerPoint, don't like PowerPoint, you don't have Keynote, you want something different, Google Slides is a great place to store it because then you can access this on every single computer as long as you're logged into your Google account. So, like with PowerPoint, when you create a PowerPoint, unless you're using Office 365, that PowerPoint is trapped on the machine where it's created. With Google Slides, you can go through and you can do and whatever you want to. Yeah, I use this. I have things that I keep in Dropbox and things that I keep in Google, and it's just kind of all over the place. But if you have an account, it's right here. So I have a choice of themes that I can add. I can also do my own background. But for this, for the sake of argument, I'm just going to choose this one right here. I'm going to choose this theme. I don't like this. You can change this. You can do whatever you want to with this, but I'm going to build this, and I'm going to take this as an untitled presentation. I'm going to put it as number 1, just for now. So what I can do with this too, if I want to, like later on, let's say you're in a group and your group's responsible for putting together a presentation. If I hit the share button, I can invite people by email so that they can edit it. You can all be working on this at the same time if you want to. That's up to you. You can get the shareable link to share it with people right from here. However you want to do it. And it works the same way. So I want to add another slide. Okay, let's say, I'm going to add this slide now, and then I'm going to add, I want this slide too. So I've just added like a series of slides to this. And again, you're going to go through, you're going to edit the content, you're going to do whatever you want to. So you've got your presentation together, and now it comes time for you to deliver this content. So what you're going to want to do is go to the Chrome Web Store, and you're going to search for a program called Screencastify. And this one works better. Some of you may have different ones, whatever. So that's entirely up to you. So I'm looking for Screencastify as an app. Why did not? It's still looking for it. It's moving really slow tonight. Reload. Okay. It's causing me troubles, but it's just easy for you guys to search for Screencastify. Oh, whatever. It's giving me like different ones. It's in there. I know it is. It's just, yes, there it is. So Screencastify, I can rate it. You can see I've already added it, but you will see an add to Chrome button. So it'll be there, and then it'll put this little icon up here. So it does work through Chrome only. It's something you can only add on to Chrome. So let's say I'm in here, and I'm going to be filming my presentation. I'm going to start from slide 1. I know I've got to record this. So I'm going to hit the Screencastify button. And it loads it, and it's picking up the audio. It tells me that it's coming from the microphone. It's got the video. Everything's there. I can start recording. So when I'm ready, I can go ahead and do that. When I hit start recording, it's going to bring up a window. So it actually asks, because I've got a secondary monitor set up, it's going to ask which screen do I want. This is the screen that it's on. So if you want to play the presentation on a different screen, you can do that. But I'm going to do it here, and then you're going to click the share button. So instantly right now, you see the red dot up there, so it's starting to record. I can actually go into play mode, present mode. There we go. So I can start presenting my slideshow. There's slide 2, there's slide 3, there's slide 4. I'm going to exit out of that, and then I'm going to stop recording. So it's done. And so instantly right now, you see the red dot up there, so it's starting to record. I can actually go into play mode, and there you go. So it recorded everything that I just did. And what's cool about this is, oh, hey, it's got my whole screen there. It didn't, it started in a little bit late. I've got all this here. When you go to upload this to YouTube, because you have that ability to do that, I think you can share it right to YouTube right from here. So if you're logged in, you can put it in there. If you go to the YouTube editor, you can actually clip out the beginning, and you can clip out at the end, so that way you can have it start right as the presentation launches. You have control over when the screens show up. The only thing that you need to be concerned about right now is going to put this watermark over it, powered by Screencastify Lite. Don't worry about that. This is a free version. Don't feel like you have to pay for anything. I'm not going to deduct any points for that. So that's just that. All right. So if you're able to use this, use it. All right.
Okay, guys, I hope you found that to be useful information, and the answer is, you do not have to use Screencastify. Absolutely not. It's just something that I wanted to introduce to you guys as an option. Not everyone has opportunity to have programs, especially ones that are only connected with Mac, or ones that are only connected with PC, which is totally understandable. We're all working with different equipment, so it all comes down to whatever's available to you and whatever you feel comfortable using. But yes, iMovie is awesome. If you have iMovie, that is a great program to use, especially if you are just starting out. It's very user-friendly. and you can do both audio and visuals right in iMovie. But Screencastify is just that. If you only have access to online programs like a Google Drive, where it gives you essentially all the programs as if you had Microsoft Word without installing the programs, then Screencastify would be awesome. But if you have access to programs like Windows Movie Maker or iMovie for the Mac, by all means use those. Alicia, absolutely. As soon as we close this session, I upload it to YouTube. I can't promise that it will be up there tonight. Sometimes it takes longer than other nights, but if it is done by tonight, I will share it on the announcements, and then I will make sure that I also email it in the morning so you guys have it. And Tristan, I totally understand. You'll get there. No worries. Know that you guys, because you are full staff students, you do get discounts on Apple products. That might be something that you want to look into on Connect as well. Cool. Now I'm seeing. Good night, Alicia. Have a wonderful evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm noticing you guys in the chat box that you are sharing a couple of other apps. Please do that. And of course, we have that on the platform this week. It's not a formal discussion board as it has been in the past. This week, I really want you guys to concentrate on your rough drafts. However, there is the discussion board 3.2. And if you guys would share those programs or share those apps on that discussion board, that is what it is there for. It's to help each other out, give each other ideas, let each other know what works, what doesn't work. So totally share them on there. Awesome. Okay, so before I go into the question Q&A session, I just want to point out a few things on our platform, and that's not what I wanted to go to. Courtney, you can use stock photos as long as you are at this point. There is no formal way to do a reference page. We don't go through APA or MLA. Just as long as you have where you retrieved the image from. Okay, so I just wanted to point out the week. You have the community discussion board for this week, and that's where you're gonna share those different programs or apps or tools that you're thinking about using or have used, and you're sharing that with your classmates. So you each will have a library of these things that you can reference when building your presentation. I also want to point out that your rough draft is going to be uploaded to me by Sunday, on the 3.4 discussion board. Okay, so on 3.4, this is where the assignment is going to be uploaded and getting feedback from me, your instructor. Basically here, what I'm gonna do, because I went really extensive in your plans, this is where I'm gonna look for design. I'm gonna look for, how you set up your slides, what images you use, and give you direction that way. Once this closes, this is going to close on Sunday night. I'm also going to open up next week where you're going to post your first draft. And I recommend to do these simultaneously. So if you are uploading your rough draft to 3.4 for my eyes, I recommend that you also upload it to the discussion board in week 4. That way, your classmates can start right away looking at your presentations and offering some feedback. Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay, so that brings us to any questions. Does anyone have any questions for me? Any concerns? Any comments about this week's work? Thank you, Tristan. I appreciate that. And yes, that discussion board is open all week. So when you guys find new things or you have something else to share, by all means, go back in to the discussion board and share. It will really help out your classmates. Courtney, I shy away from showing final presentations just because I want your voice. I want you guys to be genuine. Like this is your baby, and I really want to I want it to come from you. I've shared final presentations in the past, and there were many that were very intimidated, which you have to keep in mind that everybody is at a different skill level and has different creative abilities. And I really don't want to discourage anyone. And I want to encourage. I want you guys to be excited about your own voice and your own vision, if that makes any sense. Good. I'm glad. I thought you guys might be mad at me about that one. Excellent. But do know, this week, I said it last week, but this week there is no go-to session on Friday. I'll be doing Hall of Fame the entire day. So I want you guys to utilize the time to go and check out some of the sessions, come back and let me know the stories. Let me know what you got out of it. What was your favorite? We will have a session next Tuesday. However, it's going to be a little bit more informal. We're all going to be at the stage where you're already starting to you already have your feedback and you're building or just doing the tweaks to your final presentation. So next week is gonna kind of be open for any questions that you have, or if you want me to look at anything, I'll be more than happy to do that for you. If by chance you guys get feedback and you have already started to build and want me to look at something, please email me and I'll set up a session for us to talk to each other. I'll be more than happy to do that. Next couple of days are going to be kind of booked with Hall of Fame, but absolutely shoot me an email and we'll get something worked out. Okay? Oh, Michael, I love it. Absolutely. And there's all kinds. It depends on what situation. I have music to clean the house. I have music to work out to. I have music to grade. I have music to write. Music is amazing. Amen, Liv. Yeah, meditation helps. Definitely does. Well, I'm so excited to see what you guys are going to be building. It sounds like your classmates are excited to see what you guys are going to be building. So I know you all have a lot to do. I want to wish you a great night. And if you have any questions, just email me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Enjoy Hall of Fame. Do everything that you can that is possible and enjoy it. Hey, you never know, you might watch a streaming session and just see me in the background with headphones and a mic. You never know. Jaquita, as I said before to Courtney, I really don't like to show examples of presentations because I want to be your own voice and your own vision, and just be true. I don't want you to be guided or discouraged in any way. We all have something to bring to the table. We all have different creative abilities, and I just want to see yours. And you too, Tristan. Jaquita, can you stay after a little bit? I'm gonna stop the recording, and if you could stay after, that's cool.